All right, little Grifo, how's it going?
What's up, bro?
Man, chilling, getting it in. Same old, working, grinding, you knocking these interviews out, man. What's up with you, man? I see you got some good numbers going on. You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
We're going to get into your story a little bit, let the people get to know you a little bit better. Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in San Diego, South Side.
Southside San Diego, so that's a border town.
Yes, sir.
What was it like for you growing up there?
Shit. Drugs, gang banging, and that's it.
Being that it was a border town, was there a lot of extra drugs there, do you think, growing up?
Man, it was heavy out there, man, with drugs, man. It was just like a lot of like traficando and shit going on, man. Like a lot of like transporting this shit from the border or across the border. A lot of just transporting and shit like that. Like, at a young age you get approached over there like a real like often, you know what I'm saying, to either like cross people or cross drugs or just, sometimes like as a kid, like you just be walking down the street and fucking like a car would just drive by and shit, you know what I'm saying? Somebody bumping some corridos or some shit like that and they'll tell you like, hey, what's up? They'll try to talk to you and shit. You just see like a nice car, so you just like, you don't really feel threatened too much, you know what I'm saying? Back then.
As a kid?
Yeah, as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Before the Instagram and that shit,
What age were you when you first got asked?
Probably like 10, 11.
10, 11 years old. And then at 10, 11 years old, you're walking down the street and a car drives up. And you don't know these guys at all. And they just ask you, you want to hustle, you want to get this stuff across the border.
Yeah, they talk to you first, you feel me? They just don't tell you like that.
Okay.
They chop it up with you and shit. Be anything. I mean, when it first happened to me, I was with one of my homies and shit, but we were young, so somebody pulled up that he already knew. So when they pulled up and shit like that, he chopped it up with them, and then after that, they kind of just like recruited me, Like, oh, what's up with your homie? Does he know people who want to do that or cross this or do shit like that,
Is getting approached something that happens often as you're growing up?
Shit, yeah. I mean, like if you were gangbanging, like back in those days and shit, 06 to like 2011, like the streets were active. It doesn't matter what part of California you were in, There was gangs around and shit like that. It was pretty active and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So back when I was younger and shit, like, middle school and shit like that, it was pretty active all the way to high school and shit. It was pretty active. Then the jail started coming along and shit, the incarcerations.
What's it like there, do you think, compared to like other areas?
Shit. It's different, man. Just a border town, man. We're next to a third world country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you think it's like a lot poorer than maybe other cities?
It's different, but I mean, every city got a ghetto. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Every city got a ghetto. Yeah, my hood's actually fucking 2 exits away from Tijuana.
Is it like a heavily influenced area, like influenced by the border, or?
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Just with drugs, it's mostly just drugs down there, man. Like, but I'm not talking about just like nickels and dimes and shit. I'm talking about like large quantities of drugs because it's like a Costco for the drugs, just for next to TJ. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different and shit. There's gang banging too though.
And you said there was a lot of gang banging going on over there, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about that. Was that something you got into early?
Yeah, I started gang banging when I was probably like 11 years old.
And at 11 years old, you're growing up in the streets. What made you want to be involved in gangs at such an early age?
Shit. Just being in my environment.
So you think it was just the environment you were in?
Yeah.
Like, did you follow like brothers into it, or was it just like all your decision? Like, was just the homies around you at that point?
Yeah, there was like pressure from family, stuff like that, a little bit.
So your family is from the hood neighborhood too?
Not from the hood, but yeah, they from the city next over.
Does your family know you're involved in gangs at this point?
Yeah.
What was your family saying about it?
Yeah, my mom, she was tripping at first. She didn't want to she didn't want to, you know, like accept it that I was in a gang. You feel me? Like every time I tell her like your son a gang member, she'll be like she's kind of like nah, no, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? And then like after a while, it was like yeah, he is. This shit is, you know what I'm saying? Like it's fucked up, but yeah.
It's hard to deny after a while.
Yeah. She knew though, you know what I'm saying? After a while and shit, you know what I'm saying? Coming home and shit, you know, fucking bleeding and motherfucking blood shit, you know what I'm saying? She knew and shit like that after a while.
At your age, were the other kids involved in the streets too? Around you?
It was a handful of us. And shit.
And so at one point, do you catch your first case?
I caught my first case about probably like 11, 12 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like not showing up to school, truancies, bullshit like that. You know?
And you went to juvenile hall?
I went to the hospital.
And so we said 12 years old? What was that like for you at that young of an age?
It was just weird, different, like, you know, getting taken away from your parents or whatever, your family. So it was just kind of weird, like different, you know what I'm saying? Like, put you in a cage, you know what I'm saying? Like in a fucking cell at a young age, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it'll fuck you up mentally.
So you think it messed you up, going to juvenile hall that young?
I mean, it will fuck with anybody, you know what I'm saying? Especially like if you grew up behind the walls. I think it will alter anybody's thinking. You know what I'm saying? If you done a certain amount of time locked up, like I think motherfuckers will get institutionalized and shit like that, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. And so at 11, 12 years old, you start going in and out of juvenile hall. At what point do you catch your first long bid?
I think it's when I turned 15. When I turned 15, man.
What was going on at 15?
At 15, I forgot what we did, me and the homies, but we jumped somebody and, you know, fucking somebody started, you know, got whacked or whatever, you know, got like hit and shit, and then, you know, me and my homie went down for it. But I mean, we were just 15 and shit, you know what I'm saying? So.
Do you remember what your charges were?
Just assault with a deadly weapon, with great bodily injury, and I think it was like gang affiliation or some shit.
And how many years did they give you for that?
They gave me like 7 years in the California Youth Authority. But like like back then when you're younger, you don't have to do the whole 7, you know? It's like I ended up doing probably like 4 out of the whole 7. So from like 15 to like 19.
So you were in YA the whole time?
And YA.
And what was that like?
Shit, like a fucking gladiators, like school type shit, man. It was different. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of like fighting and shit. Yeah.
All right. And so at this point, you're 19, right? You get out when you're 19?
Yeah.
You're 19. So at this point, you're 19. You get out of YA.
Yeah.
And what do you do with yourself? Do you go straight back to the streets? Or do you try to go straight for a while?
Fuck yeah. I got out when I was 19. And within 6 days and shit, I got locked up again for possession of a firearm. So after I got out from 15 to 19, I got locked up again for possession of a firearm, and then I ended up doing a whole another 3 years.
They gave you 3 years for possession of a firearm? Was that because you were on
YA parole?
YA parole.
Yeah. So I went right back in, man. After doing 4 years, I went right back in within 6 days.
Okay. And this time, do they send you back to YA or do you go to the pen?
I went back to YA as a recommitment.
So you're only out 6 days, and you go back to YA for 3 years.
Yeah.
So are you going right back to the same place? You like the exact same?
I seen a lot of the homies that were there when I left. They were still there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they were still there and shit. I got homies who are still locked up from when we were kids. Still locked up right now. You know what I'm saying?
In what? Oh,
now
they went to the pen, right?
Yeah, they in prison now. But I got homies who still, you know, I talked to my homie this morning. He still hasn't got out. And he went with me to YA when I was 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? My homie Clumsy. You know, that he hasn't got out. It's been like I don't know how long it's been. It's been like at least 12 years almost. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you do 3 more years, and how old are you now when you get out?
Shit, I'm about like 24, 23.
23, 24.
23, yeah.
Okay, what's going on now in your life?
Same shit, you know, I get out, try to do good. Try to do good and shit like that. I ain't going back in again, you know what I'm saying? I probably like,
so you get out, you try to do good. You get a job?
I got a little job. Yeah, I was working at the shipyards.
Okay. And and so at some point you start to get back in trouble? You start to get back in the streets? And what happens then? And at some point you get busted again?
Yeah, I get accused of some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to accuse me like of carjacking, armed robbery and shit. Carjacking, armed robbery with gang enhancement. And that was like 2016, but I didn't get caught up until like 2017. You know what I'm saying? So after I got out of Hawaii, I'm out for like a year. Then I get accused of carjacking and armed robbery. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now they arrest you for this, right? I take it?
Yeah, they take me in.
They take you in, and how much time are you facing?
No. Well, shit. When that shit happened, they took me to. I ran when I heard they were looking for me. I ran, so I went to Mexico, and I was out there in Mexico for about like 3 months, you know. And I was out there, I was out there just low key, and after like 3 months and shit, I got caught. I got caught in TJ. They put me on the news and all that shit. They actually put me on fucking that Mexicano and all that, and they put me like on every news broadcast in there in Tijuana. And right here, you know, that San Diego has the same channels because we're so close. So, you know, these motherfuckers, you know, little bullshit, they put me on the news though. But
did you see yourself on the news?
Nah, I didn't, but everybody else did. Everybody seen that shit.
So you're in TJ, you hear about the news that you're on the news, and what do?
I didn't get put on the news till the day I got arrested in TJ.
So you got arrested the same day?
No.
They caught you that fast?
No. I was over there for 30 days on the run. No, not 30 days, 3 months. I was on the run for 3 months. But when I was down there, after almost 3 months, that's when I get caught down there and shit by the Pepos. It's like Federales, but in Tijuana. So I get caught over there, and they extradite me back over here. So they kicked me out of Mexico, extradite me, I signed papers, and they bring me back to California.
Okay. So you arrive in California, and you're facing these charges of carjacking.
Yeah.
How much time are you looking at?
It was 22 years, 22, 23 years if I lost trial. They were trying to make me take a deal for fucking, I think I think it was like 12 at first. Then they said 10, and then they left it at 9. And I didn't take it.
You didn't take your deal, okay. And you decided to fight your case?
Yeah, I fought it.
Okay, and what's going on during the time that you're fighting the case with your lawyers and everything?
Shit, my lawyer and shit, Herb Weston, this case is already dismissed too, by the way. But my lawyer, Herb Weston, he didn't want to take it to trial.
So you pushed him to take it to trial?
Yeah, I pushed him to take it to the box. He didn't want to though. He told me, he called me into his office and he told me he said, look, man, I don't go home. He's like, I go home every night. He's like, you're not gonna go home every night in there. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't want to live with something if I know you could, you know, get lower time. So he told me I should really consider just taking this the 9 years. Yeah, he told me I should consider it and shit. He called me into his office because I was out on bail. You know what I'm saying? So.
And what were you thinking? Were you like, were you considering this 9 years taking it, or were you like already set, like I'm taking this shit to the box?
I was taking it to the box. Yeah, I was taking it to the box and shit. Yeah.
So, okay, so you decided to take it to the box, and the trial starts. What are they saying?
Shit, well, I went to like one of my last preliminary hearings and shit, and this is after prolonging the case for like 1.5 years. You know, so the DA they got fed up and they couldn't make me take a deal and shit like that. So they just they set up jury selection. They set up jury selection. They gave me some kind of waiver or some shit, like a Miranda waiver or Alvarez waiver or something, saying that I can't go back anymore and take any kind of deal. That it's a wrap. Like, you know, we're going straight into jury selection and shit. So I had to go into jury selection 90 days after that shit. Yeah.
So you guys go into jury selection, and you guys get the jury. What is the prosecutor saying about you when they do their opening statements?
We didn't even make it in there.
What do you mean you didn't make it in there?
The day of jury selection and shit, like, I dressed out, you know, with fucking, you know, like court clothes and shit like that. And fucking, I just pulled up to the courthouse and shit. And like, I was waiting to go in there, and I was with the jurors in the lobby. They were all right there, but I don't think they knew it was me going in there to pick them out, you know. And fucking, shit, I was just waiting right there with the jurors and shit. My sister was there and shit with me, just my sister. And fucking, my lawyer come out and shit. He told me that if I want to sign for a misdemeanor. And I told him, what the fuck? A misdemeanor, homie? Like, what you mean, homie? You know, it's been 2 years of them, like, trailing behind me for some shit, you know, for this, you know? They wanted me to take, like, 9 years, 12, 9, you know what I'm saying? 10, 9, all the way to 9. So how you guys gonna just give me a misdemeanor now? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So do you take the deal?
Nah, I told them that I wanted to dismiss my case.
And what happens?
Because I guess when you sign for a misdemeanor, they just want you, they can't bring up no other legal actions against you after you sign for something on that case. You know what I'm saying? But me, at the time, I wasn't really thinking, so I didn't want to sign for no misdemeanor. I was being hard-headed, argumentative and shit. And I was like, I didn't do nothing. I'm not even going to sign for a misdemeanor, knowing that a misdemeanor is just like a fine. You could just like walk away from it, you know, but I still just, for some reason, I don't know why, man, you know what I'm saying? I spent all that money on my lawyer and shit. So I just kind of just said, I don't want to sign for a misdemeanor. Fucking, I want you guys to get this shit dismissed, to get it dropped.
Is that what they did?
Yeah, he came off 45 minutes after that shit, and fucking, he told me that, yeah. So he just called me in there. He stuck his head out, and he just said, like, come in here. And fucking, I just walked into the courtroom and shot, went right in front of the judge. The DA got up, and they were just like, well, you know, they read out all the counts against me, the count 1, 2, 3, and fucking told me that told the judge that they're dismissing all the shit. You know what I'm saying? So
just like that. So they didn't have the evidence anyway, or they would have took you to trial.
I mean, I think you know, allegedly, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I just know that they couldn't produce a witness or some shit like that too. So I had a lot to do with it because they couldn't find the person who was accusing me of carjacking. You know what I'm saying? So.
They couldn't find the witness.
They couldn't find the dude who was accusing me of saying that allegedly carjacking. You know what I'm saying? So. But they said they had him the whole time in custody. They said that they had him there and shit. Don't go to trial, because, you know, and even my lawyer was telling me before that shit, before we actually went to do that shit, he was telling me that I should think about taking the 9, because he goes home every night and I don't, you know what I'm saying? So that's what he said. You know, so.
So they tried to get you to take a deal, and they lied to you about having him in custody.
Motherfuckers, huh?
And they didn't even have him in custody. So you could have took 9 years for nothing.
Yeah.
They do some dirty ass shit, man, I tell you.
The system's fucked up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, dog. The CUC in there and shit. You know, right now with the quarantine too, it's fucked up in there. Like, fucked up, dog. Like, they got us just quarantine and shit, like 23 hours.
So as you've grown up, you spent a lot of time in juvenile hall, and then a lot of time in YA, and some time in prison. Being that you spent a lot of your time growing up as a kid, even as an adult, in prison, how do you feel that that's affected you or molded you?
Just rules, I guess just rules, and you know what I'm saying? Just the homies. Rules and shit, regulations and shit.
Do you feel like it's like changed you a lot?
It's definitely a part of my structure.
You're growing up, Southside San Diego. What do you think was one of the most craziest things you went through at that time?
Probably getting stabbed.
You got stabbed. Where'd you get stabbed at?
In the chest. Right by my heart. Shit.
Okay, what happened that got you stabbed?
Shit. Just a rival gang member and shit.
Okay.
Just like some gang shit.
Can you take me through it?
Shit, well, one day fucking I was at the trolley. I was getting on the trolley, forgot who I seen. I see somebody, the homie. And then we see some fool across the street, whatever, by the trolley and shit. And shit, we just banged on each other from the distance, you know what I'm saying? That's it. And just ran up to each other. But I thought we were gonna get down really quick because it was at a public little spot, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he ended up pulling out the fierro and shit. So yeah, he hit me in the chest right when I ran up and we started getting down.
And so you guys think you're gonna fight, you run up on this dude, get you in the chest.
Yeah.
And what happens?
Shit.
From there?
All hell broke loose right there. People started screaming and shit. All kinds of crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? But
does he stay? Does he take off?
yeah, he took off.
And so now, I mean, are you bleeding bad?
Yeah, my shit leaking, yeah. I had my phone on me and shit, and I was trying to call at the time my baby mom, you know what I'm saying? I got hit, so I was just leaking this shit. It was my first time getting stabbed, like stabbed and shit, you know what I'm saying? So just grabbing my shit like this, and I couldn't really open my screen up because I had blood in my hands and shit, so it was, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't really open it, and finally I got through and shit, and then my sister answered to my sister, you know what I'm saying? I got hit where I was at on Palomar. I was at the Palomar trolley station. And fucking, shit, I just hit her up. So I got stabbed and shit. That's it. Fuck, I just hung up. And then some lady started saying, you want me to call the cops, mijo, and shit? And I was just like, man, I thought I was dying and shit. So, you know, I just fucking walked the other way. The next thing you know, though, you can just hear the ambulance from a distance. Ambulance and shit. Then the ambulance, you can't hear it no more. It stops. And then police just pull up, a gang of police and shit, you know what I'm saying? And they don't let the ambulance in because they said they had to secure the scene. Since it's a crime scene, like a shooting or a stabbing, they gotta fucking, even if the ambulance gets there before the police and shit, the police still gotta secure the crime scene because it's a shooting or a stabbing to make sure that it's safe for the paramedics because the paramedics ain't you know, trained for shit like that. So fucking, I was leaking and shit, yeah.
Okay, so the paramedics pull up, or well, the cops pull up and they lock everything down. The paramedics come in, and what happens?
Shit, fucking, I was just leaking, man. And fucking the police was trying to talk to me. I was kind of like on panic mode type shit, homie, cause I couldn't even fucking breathe, keep it G. You know what I'm saying? So they finally let the paramedics through. The paramedics pulled up and shit. They just put me on the stretcher. You know what I'm saying? Just got me out of there.
Take you to the hospital?
Yeah, took me to the hospital.
Okay, and how long are you in the hospital for?
Like 4 days. Yeah.
What all damage did it do to you?
I got fucking open chest surgery. So at first they thought it was an easy just, you know, staple up and shit like that. But fucking, when they were about to staple me up, the fucking doctor came and shit, the nurse, and fucking, she said I was like bleeding internally or some shit like that. So they rushed me to the other side of the hospital. You know what I'm saying?
You had to go to emergency surgery?
Yeah. It's called like the fucking, what's this shit called? Not the ER, man. It's the other fucking, the ICU.
ICU.
Yeah.
Okay. You get stabbed, you're in the hospital, and how old are you at this time?
At that time, man, I'm already fucking, I was fresh out the county my first time, so I was probably like 23 already.
23 years old.
Yeah, 22. Let's just say I was 22. It was back in 2013. Yeah, I was 22.
So you've had surgery. 4 days later, they let you out of the hospital.
Yeah.
How long is the recovery process for you?
Shit. I was still running around after that shit, man.
So it was like, as soon as you get out the hospital, you was good?
Like 3-4 days later. I wasn't good, but you know, like I was mad.
Yeah.
Angry and shit.
How close do you think you were to dying? Did you ever like fade in and out or anything?
Well, the doctor told me shit that before I had the open chest surgery, they said if they would have just stapled me up and sent me home, I would have been dead by the morning.
And now after you get stabbed, does this change you at all?
Yeah, somewhat.
How does it change you?
Just to be more alert. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you mean by more alert?
More just, you know, aware of your surroundings and shit, like who's around you, you know, where you go, shit like that.
I was interviewing Mitchie Slick, and there was a dude who basically got arrested under the gang injunction or the gang enhancements. And are you familiar with the Tiny Doe situation?
Not too much.
Okay. He gets arrested, but he didn't do any of the crimes. And there's like murders and, you know, everything. And he's looking at life in jail because he was selling CDs. Because I guess in his music, he was maybe talking about these things or the crimes. I'm not, like, he wasn't like, you know, giving details or snitching or no shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? He was like, you know, talking about, I guess, you know, somebody got killed on this area or some shit like that.
I heard about that shit.
And he's looking at life in jail. And Mitchie Slick was saying that San Diego in general is just really hard on urban stuff.
My city, we done had a lot of blows that done kept us from being able to be successful in this music shit. And San Diego don't be fucking with the urban shit, homie. You know what I mean? Not even like it's so evident, man. It's like they not even doing it to be fucked up. It's like they don't even know how fucked up they doing us. This is so much a part of the fabric of our city to not fuck with the urban shit to where they don't even know they being fucked up by how they be shutting us down with everything. Anytime a new gang law come out in California, homie, San Diego try that shit out first. That ain't the first time they tried the shit. That ain't even the second time they tried the shit. They did it with the gang injunction. Gang injunction is a fucking law, a California gang ordinance that says even though you haven't been convicted of no crimes, even though you ain't been arrested or nothing like that, just off of hearsay, they could put you on this list that puts you basically like on this probation type shit. You know what I mean?
Is that something you've seen? Like, they make it difficult for rappers or, you know, because of the fucked up laws and everything they got going on over there.
I mean, it's just no tolerance over there in my city, man. My city's fucked up. Fucking but if you gangbang period and shit in my city and you do like shit like that, like gang related shit like that, like you catch a gang enhancement and shit, like they're gonna wash you up.
Gang enhancements are real bad over there in San Diego then. Worse than other areas, you think?
I couldn't really tell you if it's worse. I just know like when I'm in jail. I'm just in jail over there. I never been in jail.
You were looking at some gang enhancements at one point, right?
Yeah.
How much extra time?
Like 10 years sometimes. A 10-year enhancement.
It could depend though, right? On your crime, on what you're accused of, right? Yeah. I interviewed 50. Kind of stirred up a little controversy. I asked him, you know, what he thought about Mexicans using the N-word. And he just basically said that times have changed and that
people are going to talk however they want to talk, and they're going to express themselves however they feel. You know, I understand that you know, certain people, you know, don't respect that or frown upon it, but at the end of the day, you know, it's 2020, so you know, the trends are different. People are in a whole nother time zone. So I'm not even 10 years ago. I would have been like, oh yeah, no, yeah, that's for sure. That's a no. Now it's like, hey man, you got motherfuckers painting their hair different colors. You got motherfuckers doing all types of off-brand shit. The homie says, nigga or something. Hey, it's not a big deal.
You know, people talk different versus like maybe like 10 years ago. What do you think about that?
I just feel like it's from like wherever you really grew up at. So if you grow up around that shit, I mean, you gonna say it. Personally, I don't say that shit. I don't say it in my music, or I don't say that shit like I'll probably say it with the homies and shit. Sometimes bullshit, you know. But I mean, I don't say that shit in my music.
I also interviewed Little Rob a while back, and I asked him what advice he had for new rappers. And he said that, you know, to keep your beefing to a minimum, you know, at first at least. Do you have any advice for any new and up-and-coming artists in the game?
I mean, the only advice I got, man, is the same that I've had for the longest time, is not to step on nobody's toes and just be a man of your word at all times. You know, that way you can sleep at night, dog. You know what I mean? You don't worry about you bullshitting somebody or anything like that. Or, you know what I mean? Keep the dissing to a minimum. You shouldn't have to diss nobody, man. I've dissed a couple people in my time, but you know, they kind of deserted at the time. But nowadays, you look back, man, it was just a waste of fucking time, waste of breath to even deal with any dissing or anything like that, man, or hear what people got to say with that. But don't step on nobody's toes and just be a man of your word, and you should be good, man. I mean,
try not to diss too many people. I don't think I've seen you dissing anybody on any records. Is there a reason for that, or you
I just feel like that shit's like snitching. You know what I'm saying?
So hopping on the track dissing somebody, you feel like it's snitching?
Not dissing them, but it's like if you're really gonna disrespect somebody, I feel like you should disrespect them like in the streets. I had problems with a couple of people, but it's like real problems. It's not like, you know, rap problems and shit. It's not like a rapping thing, like, you know.
I hear you. Okay.
Street shit. From the hood or something, or like other people. It's not like rap beef and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
So as you're growing up, at what point did you start rapping?
Probably 21.
Is that when you got out of jail?
One of the times.
Okay, so you get out of jail and you start rapping. What made you want to start rapping?
I think we used to be locked up in a program called Campo in Juvenile Hall. I remember too, we used to be able to use the computers, and we used to have GarageBand on them. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, we used to just bullshit, do our work. So right when we used the computer after, we could jump on GarageBand. But fools used to leave little tracks of their hood on the GarageBand because we're locked up, you know? So fools will be right there trying to rap and shit, like on the little GarageBand program. So when a different class will go in there, we will hear these fools raps or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it just made other motherfuckers want to like say some shit about their hood too, like in a rap.
So you start rapping in jail when you were locked up, okay? And at what point did you start taking it serious?
Shit, man, probably just a couple years ago, maybe. Probably like 2 years ago.
Who were some of your influences?
Man, I like a lot of shit. Sugar Free, Bone Thugs, Tupac, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of the old school West Coast.
Looney Corleone. Fucking West Coast shit.
Yeah. Okay. Me too.
Who you fuck with?
I mean, growing up, I mean, I'm from the Death Row era.
Okay, yeah.
So that was like my era of music, you know, the Snoop, Tupac, you know, NWA, DJ Quick, Corrupt, Daz, Dog Pound.
The West Coast Connection on that shit?
Yeah, West Side Connection, Ice Cube. Yeah, that was like, you know, my era.
DJ Quick.
DJ Quick.
DJ Quick.
Yeah.
DJ Quick.
I remember I messed with his first tape, man, like before anybody even knew who he was. Yeah. I was like bumping his first, I probably had the tape.
You never fuck with no Lego shit, like back in the day and shit, like Shadow and shit. You never fuck with Shadow?
Yeah,
Anybody?
yeah, I heard some Shadow, Little Rob, you know. So you start putting out music and you start taking it more serious. At what point do you feel like you can actually be successful with it?
Fuck, man. When I flew out to the East Coast, they flew me out to Baltimore. You know?
Okay, what'd they fly you out for?
It's the feature. So I did the feature, you know what I'm saying, when I landed there. And I did a video as well, you know what I'm saying? So I went for like 3 days. And I was on parole. This was back like when I got out of YA the second time. I got out of YA the second time and shit, and I was already like 23. what I'm saying? And fucking, I got paid for a feature out there in Baltimore.
They fly you out to Baltimore. You do the video, and they pay you for the feature. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
like at that time, I barely started rapping again. You know what I'm saying? Fucking.
So that made you go harder.
Yeah, I didn't have like more than 100K views on my videos at that time. You know what I'm saying? So.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was a blessing and shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, shit. Free trip and, you know, get paid for a feature.
Solid, boy, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, my mom was tripping at first. She thought, because I used her debit card and shit to book the flight, because they sent me the money. I didn't have a debit card at the time. And fucking my mom, I asked my mom and she told me to use her debit card to book the flight. And fucking she told me, she's like, where you going and shit? And I said, Baltimore or something like that. And she said, man, you better be careful. What if they kill you out there? I said, well, they're gonna kill me out there, man. You know? She was just tripping, man. She just thought, you know, she'd be thinking the worst shit. She didn't believe that somebody's gonna pay for me to go fucking, you know what I'm saying, to a different state for music.
Because you haven't been doing it that long at that point, right? Yeah. What video do you feel like kind of put you on the map?
Shit. I got a couple of records, man, that I just put out back to back. You know, like No Friends. The No Friends video doing good. It's about to hit 1 million.
Is that your first million?
Yeah. And then I got a little record called Southern Cali that's coming up next. That's like, it's about to hit an M2. I dropped that like 8 months ago. Barely, you feel me? So I'm just trying to work faster and shit.
Yeah. That's what's up. They coming. They'll come faster.
Yeah.
And do you have anything you're working on?
Shit, well, I just dropped a mixtape called Bill Review. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling it an EP. You know what I'm saying? But it's a mixtape and fucking. Shit, I dropped that. I got a couple of homies on there. Fucking.
And you got YB on there? Is there any other features on there?
Swifty, YB, Young Demon.
Yeah, free the homie Swifty Blue too. You know what I'm saying? I know he's locked up right now.
Free Swifty, free Cheeto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Cheeto locked up too.
Okay. What do you have plans for the future?
Shit, just keep working, just keep grinding. Stay out of jail.
I hear that. Definitely gotta stay out of jail, man. You can't do any music thing if you're locked up, man. You know, you got a future ahead of you, I think. So, you know, hopefully, you know, you can continue working and, you know, stay on the right track and shit. Well, man, this was a dope interview. Man, you know, your story, everything you've been through, you know what I'm saying? The fans should love it. You know, I know you got some stuff coming out, a couple videos about to hit 1 mil. I know that's a big deal. And, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just want to see you keep doing your thing, you know?
For sure.
For sure, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.